And we are live. Welcome to another edition of the MMA Degenerates. I am the MMA Degenerate. Thank you for staying with us today. All right, so before we begin, please do me a big favor. Punch that subscribe button, head kick that like button so we can spread this through everywhere we can. All right, let's start off with the Contender Series. So Dana White's Contender Series started off, and I love the Contender Series. If you don't watch the Contender Series and you want to stay up to date with all the new, up-and-comers, you definitely need to check this out. I love it. There's usually a lot of finishes, and this time was no different. So we had week 1, August 31st on Tuesday on ESPN+. I don't know these fighters really, so I'm just going to go through the finishes real fast and some of the good fights. AJ Fletcher had an amazing KO. It was a short fight, so we didn't learn much about him, and it was very good. Victor Altamirano and Carlos Candelario, that was a good back-and-forth fight. They both showed that they are mixed martial artists and they have skills from all areas. There was some striking, there was some grappling, and they're good additions to the flyweight division, of course. And then we had Joe Anderson Burrito versus Diego Lopez. Again, a good back-and-forth fight. Unfortunately, it ended early because Joe Anderson eye-poked Diego and he couldn't continue, but it was fun. And then we had Azamat Murzakanov versus Matthias Sheffield. This was a good fight. Very short as well, only 3 minutes, but Azamat, he's one of those crazy Russians, and he showed he has power, and he's a good addition to the light heavyweight division. He looked a little small. Maybe he'll go to middleweight, but he'll be a good addition to any light heavyweight or middleweight. All right, but the main fights this weekend was the UFC Fight Night, Brunson versus Till. All right, so we had let's start from the top and go down. We had Derrick Brunson defeating Darren Till by third round rear naked choke. This was a good fight. The first minute or two, Darren Till was able to get off his shots and hit him with some good ones, but they weren't enough because, unfortunately, Derrick Brunson was able to get his timing down. He was able to duck under punches, push him against the fence, and take him down, or hit him with that single leg. The double leg wasn't really working that well, but once he started switching to the single legs and grabbing the clinch and sweeping him from there, he was able to get him down. This is what would normally happen in the rounds. Darren Till would come out, he'd hit him with a couple good shots, and maybe even hurt him slightly or just shock him a little bit, and then Derrick Brunson would get that timing down, duck under a punch, grab a single, or duck under, grab the clinch, and take him down. And unfortunately, by the third round, Darren Till's eye was severely swollen from an elbow in one of the rounds and from the ground and pound. So it was his lead eye, which is not good, his right eye, which is not good, because the lead eye sees more than your backhand eye. And Darren Till is a lefty, so, the right hand is his lead hand, and unfortunately, the wrong eye got closed up. It happens. Darren Till's been out for, I think, 2 years or almost 2 years, somewhere like that. So he's still going to be ranked high. He fought someone who's ranked above him. I don't see him moving down in the rankings. If he does, maybe one slot down, but that's about it. So he'll do fine. He'll fight someone else, and he'll win. Now, my boy Tom Aspinall fought Sergey Spivak. I was so happy that they were able to find someone for Tom Aspinall, because when they said the others, like Sergey Pavlovich or something like that, he dropped out due to visa issues, and I was so sad because I thought, oh no, they're not going to find someone, because they didn't find someone for Paul Craig. So it was a good fight. Tom Aspinall, he's a jiu-jitsu guy, but his striking is looking so good. And he caught Sergey with a great clinched knee to the body, and then before his foot even touched the ground from the knee, he hit him with the elbow and knocked him down. And Aspinall's just showing that he's growing. He's not just a jiu-jitsu guy. He might look exactly like Frank Mir, but he has good jiu-jitsu, but his striking is worlds better. And every time we see him, he's getting better and better. And he's ranked 13, so he's getting to get more and better fighters, which I'm so happy for. I really want him to fight some good competition so that he can get up there, because he can make a run for the title very soon. Excuse me. Okay, so we had Alex Murano versus David Zawada. This was a good fight. It was a good back and forth fight, very calculated. Murano boxed him up the first 2 rounds, and then he started going for takedowns. And his coach said something very good. Be first and be last. So be the first one to hit the guy, and then after the guy tries to counter you, then counter him. And he tried. Sometimes Zawada was able to get off before him, but most of the time Murano was able to. And Murano is well known for knocking out Cowboy Cerrone in the first round. And David Zawada, he did a good job, but he was just always a step behind. He was not diversifying his attack enough. Maybe possibly going for some leg kicks, stuff like that, because Murano tends to be very flat-footed. So, if he would have hit him with some leg kicks or something like that, then I think he could have really affected Murano more, and maybe could have stopped some of the offense where he was getting off first. But I digress. So next was Khalil Rountree Jr. versus Modestos Bakauskas. Now this was a good fight. It was really good. Khalil came out like a bat out of hell. He came out swinging, hitting him with hard shots. But what I noticed is he did something he doesn't normally do. When he realized he couldn't get Bakauskas out of that first round, after the first 2 minutes, he slowed down a bit. He still hit him with hard shots. He still threw all of his power into these shots, but he was able to slow down a little bit, because he's the kind of guy that if you hit me, I'm going to try to hit you back as hard as I can. I'm going to try to hit you 3 or 4 times. But in this fight, he was a lot more patient. And I think that really helped him in this fight. He broke Bakauskas' nose really badly in that first round with a good left hand. I mean, it was one of those nose things where it's like the nose is like on the other side of the face sort of thing. So he really hurt Bakauskas, and he could have rushed in and tried to knock him out, but Bakauskas, who's very dangerous in his own right, could have, knocked him out, because that's happened to Khalil before. I'm just glad he's growing as a fighter, So, pretty much, by the second round, his leg, Modestos' leg, was so beaten up it was actually bleeding, which is crazy. So Bakauskas came in for a jab, and then Rountree got him with that oblique kick to the knee. And you could tell he hit him with that oblique kick with the balls of his feet as Bakauskas was coming in with a jab, and he just screamed in terror. Like, you could tell. And, he fell down, and the ref immediately stopped it, because, that was not going to end well. All right, now we have the debut of Paddy the Baddie Pimlet versus Luigi Vendramini. This was a very interesting fight. We saw that Paddy, he can take a shot. We also saw that he keeps his head up pretty high and his hands pretty low, which he uses that because he wants to throw shots at weird angles. He came out with a bunch of good kicks. He hit him with some good kicks that probably, scared Luigi a little bit, but then got countered with a right or left hand. Then he was able to counter, and he was able to get off, and he hit Luigi with a right hand, then he just swarmed on him. He doesn't have that one-punch knockout, but he's got enough power to hurt you. And he's more known as a jiu-jitsu guy, which was interesting. I think he wanted to come out, make an impression, show people that I'm not just a jiu-jitsu guy. I might be able to choke him out, but I can also knock him out, which was good. But I would work on that head movement a little bit, because he might not fight a top 15 guy next, but once he gets to that top 10, top 15, top 5 guys, You can't be doing that. You're going to get knocked out badly, especially in the lightweight division, which is one of the most stacked divisions out there. So the prelims. The prelims were good. Julian Erosa had a great fight against Charles Jourdain. The Andre Barrial versus Dalcha fight was pretty good, back and forth. Jack Shore versus Ludovic was pretty good. It was more of a grappling affair, and Jack was pretty dominant. But the Molly McCain versus Ji Yeon Kim fight was really good. It was a back and forth striking battle. Ji was hitting her with some good shots, but not enough, because Molly was hitting her with the harder, more effective shots. And Ji had that huge reach advantage. I would have used the jab more, used straight punches more, but Molly, she comes forward. She's one of those, bite on your mouthpiece and run forward sort of fighters. She's a crazy fighter from England. So, she was able to gut it out. She lost one of the rounds for sure, maybe two. Could have been a split decision. If G would have won, I wouldn't have been too mad. I would have been like, probably not. But it was a good back and forth fight, and it got fight of the night for a reason. So, like I said, they got fight of the night. Molly McCain versus Ji Yeon Kim, and Tom Aspinall and Paddy both got performances of the night. I hope, Khalil and Julian Erosa got some bonus money as well, because they both did very well in their fights. All right, so that's it for... that's it for this one, for this week. So let's look at the rankings. All right, so we have Darren Till and Derrick Brunson. So let's look middleweight. So Derrick Brunson in the post-fight said that he wants to fight for the title. He said, I might fight, Jake Paul as a warm-up or something. He just wants to make some money. I get it. It's fine. That's not going to happen, though. Dana White's going to be like, no effing way. So he is number 5. He beat Darren Till. He's not going to move up anywhere. I don't think he's going to win. I mean, he should fight. If he wants to fight soon, I would fight Cannonier, because Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya are going to fight soon. So one of them is probably going to get hurt, or the winner's probably going to get hurt. And even if they don't get hurt, I'm sure Izzy, if he wins, is going to want to take some time off. Robert's not known to come back immediately after. So you're going to have at least 3 or 4 months after the fight where, they're not going to want to fight. So if I was Derrick, if I was the matchmakers, I would put Derrick up against the Paulo Costa, Marvin Vettori winner, or Jared Cannonier. I want to give Jared Cannonier that shot, and I wish they would have waited and given him the shot over Robert, because Robert already fought Izzy. But that's how it goes. So, I hope Jared Cannonier gets either Derrick Brunson, or he waits it out for the fight between these two gentlemen here. All right, Tom Aspinall. So Tom Aspinall was the co-main event. He's ranked number 13. He fought number 14. He said he wants to fight Blagoy. That'd be awesome. Walt Harris would be awesome. Chris Dukakis would be awesome. Anyone around here, 12, 11, or 10 would be great. I don't want him going past Dukakis, because I want him to get, one more fight. And then if he wins against one of these guys, have him fight a top 10 guy, from like a 10 to a 6 guy, somewhere in there. All right, who else do we have? We had Murano versus Zawada. I don't think either of them are ranked. Let's see. Yeah, none of them are really ranked. I guess Murano maybe fight Thiago Moises. He's fought some good guys. Give him a top 15. Or Tazarukian is fighting. Maybe the winner of the Tarusikin fight. Maybe, possibly. That'd be an awesome fight. And Zawada, just fight another unranked guy, because, he needs to fight someone unranked to get that confidence back. All right, Khalil Rountree Jr. Let's see, he's light heavyweight. So he's not ranked either, and he said he wants to go on a streak in the post-fight interview. So, I mean, I would give him just another unranked guy, someone that he can beat, build his confidence back up, because he's got some problems with the mental game. That's his biggest weakness. So I would give him someone like that where he can beat them and he can get his confidence up, maybe fight one or two more unranked guys, and then he can come back. And if he fights the way he fought Modestos, then I foresee him being able to go on a streak, and I foresee him getting to a top 15 opponent within 6 to 10 months or 6 to 12 months. And then we had Paddy Pimlet. He defeated Luigi. So Paddy, I don't want him to fight a ranked guy per se. Maybe the top 15 guy, who's Thiago Moises, or maybe the Tarsukian fighter, the Arman fight, whoever wins that, possibly. I would like to see him get an unranked guy, just because he came out, he got rocked pretty badly from an unranked dude, and I want to see him fight someone who's good but unranked. So I don't know anyone off the top of my head, but they're probably paying this kid a lot of money, so they're going to want to fight him with a top 15 dude as soon as possible. Possibly, I know Rafael Fiziev is fighting Brad Liddell. So possibly the winner of that fight would be a good fight for Paddy. Someone in the top 15, he fights a top 15 guy, then he fights a top 10 dude, then he fights a top 5 dude, and then the title. So I want to see him fight at least 3 or more guys before he fights for the title, because he's a good talent. But I don't want to see them throw him a number 5 guy and him get destroyed. I don't want to see him fight like Islam and get destroyed. I don't want to see him fight, Benil Dariush or Michael Chandler or Tony Ferguson or Rafael Dos Anjos, someone he's not ready for, and get destroyed and just destroy the talent. Because they don't need big names anymore. They have the ESPN deal, so if they destroy a talent, they're like, oh, okay, whatever, that's fine, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, overall, this was a good card, the Derrick Brunson fight. It was a lot of their European talent pretty much showing off. It was going to be in London, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great fight card. It was kind of flying under the radar, but I knew a bunch of the fighters in this card, so I was very intrigued by it, and I was very, very excited for it. So, this is a good one. This was a good one, and it showed off a lot of the European talent that they had. All right, so that's it for the fights and what's next for everyone. So let's go to some fight announcements. All right, so we have Amanda Nunes, awesome, versus Juliana Pena rescheduled for UFC 269. So that's not for a while. That's not for 3 or 4 months, I believe. Yeah, it's not till the end of the year, which I understand. She had COVID and all. She might be dealing with some lingering issues. So, okay, I get it. Hopefully Juliana Pena can, keep it in her pants before then, because she was talking about how they should make an interim belt and all that. When you have the greatest fighter of all time, give her a few months. If you want to fight someone else, tell them I want to fight a top 5 person. If you're that confident in your abilities, But that's awesome. I'm glad. Usman Nurmagomedov versus Patrick Piatala in Moscow, Bellator 269. That's in October in Moscow. Awesome. All right. Yep, that's good. All right. So we have Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady on tap for November 20th event. Awesome. That's going to be a fun fight. 2 grapplers. One's better at wrestling, which is Michael, and then one's better at jiu-jitsu, which is Sean. So that's going to be fun. And Sean Brady is, he's the next big thing. So it's going to be a fun fight, and it's going to be good. They're probably going to end up striking for most of it. And then if Sean Brady can overwhelm him in the striking, then Michael might take it to the ground, or vice versa, But Sean might have a harder time taking down Michael. So we'll see. All right, Shane Burgos versus Billy Quarantillo on tap for UFC 268. Nice. UFC 268 is shaping up to be good. I can't wait to look at it. Hopefully it all stays together. Shane Burgos is a great fighter, and Billy is another great fighter. These two guys are just going to bang it out, and they're going to have fun with it. So I'm happy about this fight. All right, Glory champion Alex Pereira targeted for UFC 268 debut versus Andre Michailidis, sorry. Oh, nice. So Alex Pereira is the only person to knock out Israel Adesanya in kickboxing. That's a little caveat. And he's a former Glory champion, so that's going to be interesting. Obviously, he's fighting an unranked guy, so I'm sure what they'll try to do is if he wins, they're going to try to fast track him to a title shot as soon as they can. So, he'll fight a top 15 guy after this, then a top 10 or top 5 guy, and possibly fight for the title afterwards. Because everyone else in the division has been pretty much cleared out except for Jared Cannonier. And that's about it. Izzy's beaten almost everyone else. He's beaten Marvin Vettori twice. He's beaten Derrick Brunson. He's beaten all the dudes in front of him. So this is definitely something that'll spark the interest of Izzy for sure. All right, Daniel Weichel versus Pedro Cavallo. Charlie Ward versus Norbert Novenet added to Bellator 270 card in Dublin. Awesome. Daniel Weichel's a great fighter. He fought Patricky, almost knocked him out, which Patricky is one of the best featherweights ever out there. Charlie Ward's a good fighter. Don't know Norbert. Pedro Cavallo is a good fighter as well, so that'll be fun. Ooh, my boy Rafael Fiziev, versus Brad Liddell. Actually, I was saying, if you go back to like the last time he fought Bobby Green, I was saying he should fight someone like Brad Riddell in that weight division. I was hoping that maybe him and Paddy could fight it out because that'd be a fun fight, but this is going to be good too because, it's someone ranked above Fiziev, and then hopefully after this he'll get a top 10 guy or a top 5 guy possibly. That would be amazing. But that's going to be a fun fight. I love Fiziev. I'm obviously going to be going for him. Brad Riddell is still a good fighter though, so it'll be fun. He's a hard-nosed, fighter who wrestles and does everything. All right. Ooh, nice. So, in January, we got Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. Nice. That's going to be fun. So that's going to be a fun one, Charles Oliveira, he's always getting better. Poirier is just on fire lately. I'm glad he's fighting for the title and not chasing these money fights anymore because if I was him, I would get the title, defend it a few times, and then go for those money fights, When you defended your title a few times, you can be the big dick and tell the boss what to do. And if you get those pay-per-view numbers, like he's going to get a big boost. I think, he was very calculated with the Conor McGregor fight because now people know his name. He defeated Conor McGregor twice. No matter what Conor says, pulling a Sean O'Malley, saying some crap like, oh, it was a doctor stoppage. So he's yelling, yeah, say it was a doctor stoppage. Yeah, it's still a TKO, buddy. You still lost, buddy. The ref still said, no, yeah, you're done, buddy. So so it's not his fault that you kicked wrong and you messed your foot up. You kicked the wrong part of the body. You kicked the elbow. He checked the kick, something like that. It's not your fault. It's not his fault. It's your fault. You lost. But yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm happy for that. And Randy Costa and Tony Kelly. So I've seen both them fight. Randy just lost to Adrian Yanez. So that was a good fight. Randy had Adrian, on knockout door there. He was ready to go to sleep, but Adrian came back and was able to get the win. And then we had Tony Kelly. I've seen him fight, but I don't remember much about him. But it's going to be a good fight, so that's in January sometime. But yep, those are the fight announcements. So let's get to the news. My favorite part, I get to talk smack about stuff and people. All right, so Conor McGregor reignites feud with Nate Diaz, causing a lengthy back and forth on Twitter. Lovely. Let's see what we got here. So this is Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz's back and forth. So he's talking to him. Now add 30 pounds of muscle on me and say ding, ding, ding in a Dublin accent. So he was talking smack about, I don't know what he's talking smack about, but Nate Diaz just chimes in and says, bro, you can't even walk or fight right now. Why you talking shit? So he's talking shit about probably someone else, I would say. Maybe Jake Paul, because Jake Paul was talking smack about him. So that would make sense because Jake Paul's around 200 and something pounds. And then Connor comes back. He says, who can't come through and see, you little skinny fool, you be smacked up and rolled up, you bum. Callie's mine. And Nate Diaz says, nah, bitch, you should have learned how not to break your leg when I checked your shit. And you crutched out of the fight with me. And how you going to fight when you can't run for your life? This time with your broken ass. You lost that fight, you ran for the hills, just like Kebab, you're a pussy too. And he also finished, that means I'm the double triple champ of this whole shit. Fuck all you pussies. P.S. Jumped ship on your country, bitch, go home. You got any friends? Then Diaz says, into the belly when I get you, so he's gonna eat him alive, you little cockroach Diaz brother. It's 3 on the street, grab the heat. Says it's just business. Remember, you're the sportsman. I showed you guys the street shit. I fought both your teams out the cage before any of you guys realized the real fight game. Sporty little bitches. I ended this guy's career. What happened to him? Get back. What happened to him? Get him back here. You need some help. And why you just throw your friends away, shithead? He's got to learn a little bit of grammar. And Connor replies, I'm on a hair trigger, mate. You stay hiding, blah, blah, blah. And he said, F you. And he said, they just keep on talking smack to each other. So, yeah, pretty much. They're trying to hype up another fight because, to be honest, I mean, Conor McGregor doesn't have much more options. If he wants to make money, they're not going to give him a top-ranked guy. So, they're going to give him a top 10 guy, probably. So, he's looking for money fights. The guys in the top 10 are not big money fights. Like, if you look in the top 10 of the UFC lightweight division, I mean, Conor is number 9. Yeah. I mean, who's he going to fight? Gregor Gillespie, Dan Hooker, Rafael dos Anjos. He can fight those guys, sure. Nothing's going to make him the money that Nate Diaz is going to make him. So, yeah, he's going to definitely try to get that fight for sure. All right, so we got Sean O'Malley squashes beef with Sean Shelby. I had a conversation, and we're good now. So, Sean pretty much, yeah. Remember earlier in the month, Sean said no to New York. Then he said Sean Shelby was like talking smack, saying, go on your, and he also said some shit on his podcast. But he said Sean Shelby said, go hang out with the Paul brothers and do stupid shit, blah, 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 blah. And, I'm sure he was mad because, Sean Shelby was mad. I don't know if he said that, but I don't know Sean Shelby, so he could have said that. But, in Sean Shelby's mind, they have their priorities, and what's his name? Sean O'Malley has his priorities. Remember, Sean said, I'm on my Contender series contract. He's probably getting paid like 50 and 50 to fight, when he should probably be getting paid 100 to fight, or flat rate 200 to fight, or flat rate 150 to fight, something like that. So I can see why he didn't want to fight Frank Yeager. And also in New York, yeah, they have like a 10% state tax. Then you have the regular taxes, probably. It's in like the 30-something percentile. So right off the bat, you have 40-something to 50% of your stuff taken out. And then you'd spend another 25%. So you're probably, in New York, you're probably spending 85% of your fight purse on everything you need. So I understand why he didn't want to fight in New York, obviously, and that show might even be in jeopardy. They might have to move somewhere else. But anyway, he says, I said what I said on my show to the Schmo. I got in some trouble. I had a conversation with Sean Shelby a couple days after in person in Houston at the fights. We're good now. he didn't like what I said. I didn't like what he said. I feel like I'm in the position now where if you want me to fight in New York and I don't want to fight in New York, I'm not going to fight in New York. I'm in that position, and I had a conversation, and we're good now. So then he goes on to say, I got offered to fight in New York against Frankie, and I said, if Frankie wants to get whooped, he can get whooped in Vegas in December, a month later. They want Frankie to fight in New York, so they gave him Chito Vera. Getting the Sugar Show against Frankie would have been a great fight for me, but I'm not worried about it. Yeah, they wanted Frankie in there because he lives in New Jersey, and he's a big name in the region, so that he was going to fill up seats pretty much. Okay, he goes on to say, who will it be? Dominic Cruz could be. I don't know if he wants to fight in December in Vegas. I would love to dance with him. I don't think it will be Dominic. I don't think he'll take the fight. I don't think that's the fight he wants, but if it is, then yeah, that would probably be next. If not, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't really care if it's a top 10 guy, a top 15 guy, if I'm off the street, I'm going to get paid the same. Whoever I beat up, I'm getting paid the same. I don't care. And then he finishes by saying, I haven't been offered anything. I just them, hey, I want this fight in December, and they're pretty good about it. When I say I want to fight, obviously in Vegas, no names right now. To be honest, I don't want to accept any fight. I don't want to be offered any fight until my hands are 100%. It's mostly my right hand. It's a little swollen. It still hurts. So December 11th is about 15 weeks, so we should be good, but we'll see. So yeah, I understand, it's good that, you don't want to be beefing with the matchmaker because that's the guy who fights you. So if you're really douchey to him, he could put you on the shelf, All right. So Jake Paul, they got paid $2 million for their boxing match. Very good. There's the, right here's the payouts. Yeah, you can see it's very top heavy. So, but yeah, hey, I'm happy for it. I'm happy that T Wood got some money. All right. So this ties into it. So here are the guidelines for the tattoo because they made a bet. If Jake Paul wins, then Tyron Woodley has to get a tattoo that says like I love Jake Paul or something like that, or something Jake Paul. So it has to be 3.3 inches by 2 inches. You can't get it covered. It's permanent. It must post on social media. Has to be visible with shorts and shirt on. So it has to be either in the lower arms or the lower legs. And, can't get it covered, blah, blah, blah. I mean, unless it's an actual, clause where, it says you can't get it covered in the contract, then he can tell him to go fuck himself, literally. But I think it's funny. He said, and T Wood said it's okay. He doesn't mind getting the tattoo as long as there's a rematch involved, which I understand. I would say no. I wouldn't have said yes to that. So that's just stupid on his part. All right, Francis Ngannou gives update on target return. Still wants John Jones. That's the fight to make. So he said, I'm hoping, this is on Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour. This is Eric Ninsick, his coach. I'm hoping that we've been kicking around. We've been here in January, but you never know. The UFC is always willing to throw you a curveball. Then, oh, guess what? You're fighting John Jones now. So I always think there's a chance. Absolutely all right. I think it's a fight to make, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Ciryl Gane is the fight to make. He is the interim champ. No matter how fake that interim title is, he still has the belt. I mean, the UFC can just tell him to F off. They've told interim champs to F off, but I think they want to stick it to Francis. So he's going to probably fight Ciryl Gane next. Giga Chikadze, he's mad about his UFC ranking after the win. I kicked the shit out of people. Okay. So he did have that great stoppage of it, and he got ranked number 9. So I was ranked number 9. I beat number 9, but it was not just a regular number 9. It was not a decision. It's not a split decision, not a close fight. As I said, I kicked the shit out of people. So this is what happened on the weekend when you beat someone like Edson Barbosa and you're ranked number 10, and he's number 9. You don't just get one more and now become number 8. I have to be somewhere in the top 5. I was hoping to get top 3. In the top 3, there's another guy, Yair, who hasn't fought in 7 times in 2 years or whatever. I fought 7 times in less than 2 years. That's something that really has to be mentioned. They just put me top 8. I was a little sad. I mean, let's be honest here. You beat the number 9 guy. They gave you number 8. I don't see what the big deal is. Yes, Yair should not be in the top 3, that's for sure. So, okay, maybe you should be number 7 or something like that. But you should not be in the top 3. You're a great fighter, but you haven't beat anyone in the top 5, so why would you be in the top 3? He goes on to say, I'm just upset about the rankings. I want to see myself as a top guy because I want to fight for the title very soon, as fast as possible. I want to be a replacement for the title fight. If not, I want to fight Max or Yair. Something that will give me the title shot, maybe the Korean Zombie, or you know what, even if it's gave me Cater, I wouldn't be upset. Like I said, fight someone in the top 5. Let's look at the rankings. So he is ranked number 8. So yeah, Calvin Cater, that would be a great fight. Max Holloway would be a good fight, but I don't know if he would take it. You know, fight someone right here in that sweet spot between 5 and 7. You're not top, you know, you're not top, what's it called? You're not top 5, dude. You haven't beat anyone in the top 5. Chill out. All right, so this is from the Woodley fight. So, disturbing pattern from Amanda Serrano's trainer revealed after alleged harassment during Paul Woodley card. So, Jordan Maldonado is accused of verbally abusing Yamileth Mercado as she sought medical treatment after a fight with Amanda Serrano. So, that is her coach. Yeah, that's messed up. So, pretty much what happened was the didn't fight like a Mexican line was repeated by Serrano in an interview she did. She said, so Mercado said that Maldonado came to me and continued attacking me, calling me a coward, a good-for-nothing, an idiot. Yeah, that's messed up, you know. After a fighter loses, they lost. It's over. You know, if your person won, you should be happy for your person. Let that other person get medical treatment or whatever they need to do. That's pretty messed up. And that guy should be fined or not allowed to be at certain events anymore. All right, so we have the next fight night. So we have the Contender series, but I'm not really going to go over it. I don't know anyone on there. And probably none of you will know anyone on there either. So the fight night is Anthony Smith versus, what's his name? Andrew, I think it's Spann. Anthony, versus Ryan Spann. So these aren't official, but they're announced, so I'm pretty sure they'll be on there. So we have Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann. That's going to be dope. Don't know many people on here. Montel Jackson's good. I've seen him fight. Mike Rodriguez. Ooh, that's good. He won the, he's the one who, he's the guy, he's this big black dude, and he lost against Ed Herman because he hit Herman with a knee to the body, and Herman, fell down like it was a nut shot. And then he came back and submitted Mike, which was messed up. Then we have Ian Kutalabe versus Devin Clark, which will be awesome. Jim Miller is going to be on there. That's awesome. Joaquin Buckley is good. He just got knocked out a few months ago. I would wait, man. The Armin fight is going to be on there, and Ariane Lipsky is going to be on there as well. That's going to be a pretty fun fight card. All right, that's it for this week. Again, do me a big favor. Kick that like button, smash that subscribe button, and share us as much as you can. Thank you, and have a safe and great day.